In the past few years, I started making vision boards to really help me manifest my dreams and goals better, as it was a great tool for accountability for me to do so. I started making them in 2019, but my 2019 vision board sucked. I really took efforts into my 2020 vision board, and that's where a lot of things started to come into play for me, and I realized that this was something that I just wanted to do every single year. Well, now it's time to go over my 2022 vision board and also create my 2023 vision board. I always make my vision board the week of New Year's Eve, so I made mine and I'm so excited to share it with you. But first, we have to go over my 2022 vision board. If you don't remember my video last year, you guys actually got to watch me create this and talk about what all these things mean. So let's go ahead and talk about what worked, like what I manifested, and what didn't manifest in my favor, and what I can learn from that. So let's start off with the hand with the apple and the hand with the donut. So if you don't remember, last year I talked about how I wanted to better my relationship with food. And this one's really interesting because I was diagnosed with acid reflux, so I had a lot of stomach issue problems that came up this year in terms of digestion, and I was also recently diagnosed with mild gastroparesis. And so I haven't really had the best relationship with food for most of this year. Like, I gained a lot of weight this year, and now my weight's kind of stabilized. Like, it's not going up anymore, so I think my body wanted to be at a certain weight, so at least that's good. I haven't gained any more weight, but I also think that has to do with the gastroparesis diagnosis, which causes me to not eat as much because I suck at emptying my stomach. Now that I've been diagnosed with that, I met with a dietitian, last week before I went to San Diego, and I had a really good chat with her, and so now I've made some modifications to my diet that will make eating a little bit easier for me. It's like a gray area with this. Like, part of it, what didn't come true, but it wasn't until the end where I learned like what I can do to better my relationship with food, but I don't think that's enough. But it is interesting that I was able to find some sort of solution, and I'm still working on it. So yeah, that's an interesting one. So this next one is literally just a TV mounted on a wall. So let me show you something really quick.
So there it is. I had to adjust the exposure really quick. But yep, that's my TV. It's only 24 inches,
but it fits perfect on that wall in between my two windows, and it's at like the perfect height. I know it looks really high up, but the reason it's high up is because it's meant for me to like watch TV while I'm like laying and relaxing in bed. So the eye level is actually really good and it doesn't hurt my neck. So yes, I manifested a TV. That was one of the easier things to manifest, but I just had to wait until I wanted to spend the money on it, and it wasn't until like the summer where I made getting a TV a priority for me, but hey, I made it happen. So this next picture right here, you see like a microphone with a headset. So this was to represent my podcast. In my video from last year, I talked about how I wanted to elevate my podcast, Shamelessly Unapologetic. I wanted to get some more listeners. I wanted to rebrand the Instagram account and just make season 2 a lot better. And I can say that I absolutely accomplished this. I hired a graphic designer for my podcast Instagram art, and boy was she a lifesaver. And I saw a lot more growth and listenership within my podcast this year. I believe I got a total of 31 different countries where people were tuning in to my podcast. There were even like 159 people who had my podcast as their top 10 podcast. But keep in mind, all these statistics that I'm talking about are from Spotify only, so I don't know how it was globally between every single platform that my podcast is streaming on, but at least Spotify was able to give me some of their statistics. So I still thought that that was really awesome. And I'm really excited for what will come for season 3. I will be reaching out to new guests soon. I'm just obviously taking a break. I'm not uploading until like probably late February, early March. I haven't decided when I wanna launch season 3. It's just gonna depend on how many guest episodes I'll have recorded by then, because that will play in a part of when I can start launching out new episodes. But
I am very proud of myself for making this happen. Podcast Instagram account grew a little bit. I am proud that my podcast got a lot more traction within its second year of being streamed. So that's awesome, and I'm really proud of myself for making that happen. So in this bottom right corner, you see a house and like a penny jar where it looks like the person is saving money. And this was to talk about start saving up for a house. Back in March, I got let go from my job very unfairly. And so I decided to shift my priorities and realize just saving up for a house was just simply just not an option nor a realistic priority for me in any kind of way. And I decided that, well, I'm still currently happy with where I live. I have friends in my building and there's really nothing wrong with my apartment. So I decided, you know what, I am just not gonna do this because I'm gonna hold off on saving for a house. Do I still want a house? Yes, absolutely. But right now, it's not a priority for me because I just still have other financial responsibilities to take care of. And before I even consider saving up for a house, I need to take care of one thing at a time. So this unfortunately did not get to happen, but I also changed my mind because I just knew realistically this was just not going to be a priority for me. This one says 100% debt-free. This kind of happened, and let me explain. Credit card payments were very bad for me. I will say last year I did put down a huge payment for one of my credit cards that had over like $12,000 in debt. It was really bad, guys. Like, don't worry, I'm like learning from my mistakes. I was very irresponsible with my credit card. So please don't be like me. Like, at least I'm owning up to my irresponsibility. When my grandmother died, I did get some of the money and I put all of that money towards the credit card payment. It still wasn't fully paid off, but it dropped it down to a really lower 4-digit number. And so this year, with the rest of my credit cards, because I still had a really bad balance and still was struggling to pay off the rest of my credit cards, I joined a new company and I got a really big sign-on bonus. And so you wanna know what I did with my sign-on bonus? I got out of the bad credit card debt that I had been stuck in for years. So while I still have like a balance on my credit card, it's nowhere near as bad as what it was, and it's obviously more manageable and things that I can pay off in full now. So I want to say I somewhat accomplished this. I still have a loan that I need to pay off and my surgery is still not paid off. I did open up a pay plan with that, so I have to pay it in increments over time. So I'm halfway paid off with my surgery that I got back in February, which is funny because I didn't have plastic surgery on my vision board anywhere. That was just kind of more of a spontaneous thing that happened and it just manifested itself. That didn't really help with my debt, but I will say it was a lot cheaper than I thought it was gonna be, and it is halfway paid off, so that is nice. So I do think that this year the rest of that will get paid off. So I want to say I somewhat accomplished this. So down here, these represent tarot cards. So this is the Magician and the Two of Swords, if you're interested in what those cards were. And this was to become better at tarot and master the tarot deck. And I want to say I also somewhat accomplished this. Now, I will tell you that I know tarot a lot better this year than I did a year ago. I will say teaching tarot on your own is really challenging because you have to memorize the meaning of 78 cards, and then if you really want to get more technical and advanced with it, you also have to learn the reverse meanings. And reverse meanings are something that I'm still working on, but I will say I do know the tarot decks in the upright position a lot better now, and I can give readings to myself more confidently. And I'd love to start practicing more on my friends, because when you practice reading tarot on other people, that really helps you just become a better reader and also interpreting the cards better to people's situations, and it can even help you interpret cards better for yourself. So I do want to say that this was also somewhat accomplished, and I'm really proud of myself for teaching myself. I did like a course on Udemy. It was either Udemy or Skillshare, I can't remember. And that course really helped. I also have some really great tarot books that have helped me. And I journal in my tarot journal every day when I get a new card. So that also helps me remember those cards as well. So definitely really proud of myself for this one. So let's talk about this. This says Ilana Pinsky, 3,000 subscribers. That unfortunately did not happen. let's talk about YouTube really quick. I want to say this was a really bleh year for my YouTube channel. I didn't see a lot of growth like I wanted to. I really only gained a little under 500 subscribers this year, which is really pathetic because I had much better growth in 2021 and just it seems like a lot of my videos just didn't get watched this year. I don't think YouTube is dying. I do think that a lot of people are just really into shorter form videos and content, like with TikTok, and YouTube has created shorts. So I did start experimenting a little bit with shorts this year, and I did notice that some of those videos got more views compared to my regular long form content. So if I feel like there's a video that I make on my phone and I feel like it's gonna be better for a reel than an actual YouTube video, then I'll upload it as a short video and see how that performs. I will say I was definitely a little bit disappointed with my performance of my channel this year. It really could have been a lot better. I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that I could get 3,000 subscribers this year. I didn't really think that was an unrealistic goal or something to manifest for myself just based off how I saw my growth trajectory in 2021, and I really thought it was gonna be even better in 2022. I'm really disappointed with that, and I'm really hoping that 2023 will be a lot better for my YouTube channel. I am pretty close to getting 2,000 subscribers. I have about 1,770 subscribers right now as I'm making this video. So I definitely feel confident I'll at least hit 2,000 subscribers sometime in 2023. That will have taken a year and a half to get to another 1,000 subscribers, but that is still better than it not being 4 years just to get to 1,000 subscribers. So I definitely do see it getting progressively better, but it's still a slow progression. And then the last thing here was talk about domestic travel. So when I created my video last year, you saw me pasting this picture onto the poster board that I was using. I was saying how I really wanted to go to Seattle or San Diego. Well, guess what? I got to go to both this year. And I even went to Mexico. Going out of the country was not part of my 2022 bingo card. Because like when I made my vision board last year, I thought that the travel situation wasn't gonna get any better because when I recorded my video last year, the pandemic was still really bad. I had also just gotten over COVID, and I didn't know when airports were gonna start opening back up to other countries and if masks would ever not be needed on airplanes again. And then I think was it March or was it May of 2022 that you no longer had to wear masks on airplanes. So that was a big relief, and I'm so glad that requirement got taken away because wearing a mask on a plane is not fun. I got to go to San Diego, Seattle, I went to Philadelphia, and I went to Tijuana, Mexico. Oh, and I obviously went to San Francisco a few times this year, and I did go to Richmond twice. I got to do some domestic travel this year and one out of the country trip. Even if it was for a day, I still got to say that I went out of the country this year. So that's really cool that I got to manifest that, even though that's not something I was expecting. So that was like a nice little spontaneous surprise for me. So that is my 2022 vision board. So now we are gonna make my 2023 vision board, and I'm gonna make it bigger and better this year because I have more goals and things that I want to manifest for myself for next year.
So for this first picture, you will see that it says vibin' and thrivin'. So it's not that I wasn't vibing and thriving in the year 2022, but I just felt like 2022 was just a meh, blech year for me. It wasn't good, wasn't bad. Please excuse the fun. I was also trying to film a TikTok and reel while making this. But anyway, back to this quote. I want to be doing more vibing and thriving this year. I just really want 2023 to be one of the best years that I've ever had. So this is something that is really important for me that I want to manifest. So this will be the year that I thrive. So this next picture has a map of New Zealand and Australia on it. So I think it's kind of obvious that this is representing how I want to travel to these two countries this year. It has been a huge dream of mine to go to New Zealand especially. I have been obsessed with the country of New Zealand since I was in elementary school. I would used to check out books from the library at my school and just read them for the fun of it. And I would also do the same for Australia. My parents even got me a New Zealand flag once, which I thought was really funny, even though it is not my home country. But This is something that I have really wanted for a really long time, and I think 2023 will be a really amazing time to finally go. And I probably will do this maybe towards like the end of the year, but it's definitely something that I'm gonna start planning for and doing research and saving up for, because this is something that really means a lot to me, and I know I will have an absolute blast going to New Zealand and Australia. So that is something that I am manifesting for myself in 2023. This next quote says, fall in love with healing yourself. So this is to represent healing all of my stomach problems. I am getting an upper endoscopy in January, and I think that will continue to give me more answers with my stomach problems and to start focusing on beating gastroparesis and just really terrible acid reflux disease. I also want to get my throat scoped, and I will explain why I want to get that scoped, because I do feel like I have some vocal cord damage due to silent reflux and some acid reflux. I feel like it's really impacted my voice, so that is also something that I really want to heal, and plus will make me sound better on my podcast and my videos. So this is really important for me. So this is definitely something that I really want to just nip in the bud in 2023 and not let this stress me out and make me feel miserable, because my stomach problems really made me very nauseous throughout the year, and it pretty much made me want to stay in bed all the time and not be productive and just be active, and it's a shame that that's happened, so I'm not allowing that anymore in 2023. So this next quote says, due to personal reasons, I'm gonna keep getting hotter, smarter, and more committed to my inner peace and happiness than ever before. I want to continue to improve my beauty routines and my skincare routine. I recently just learned how to improve my hair routine a little bit, and I want to continue doing that so I can have a brand new beauty regimen that's gonna make me even hotter than before. I want to continue to educate myself on things that are important to me, also committing to my inner peace and happiness than ever before. It's not that I wasn't unhappy this year, I just felt like there was just a lot more work to do. Committing to things was really hard for me, especially with the constant nausea. It really affected my productivity levels. So I really want to be able to continue to work on my inner peace, continue journaling, continuing to practice divination and gratitude and manifestation, because that is something that's really important to me and that will cause me to thrive. For this quote, it says, what is coming is better than what is gone. I felt like I really connected with this because I just kind of want the past to be the past, and I want what is coming to me that will be good for me, and it's going to be better for me, and it's going to be better than things that have happened in my past. And as I go through the rest of the things in my vision board, I think you will see that I have a lot of things that will really improve my life and hope that I can manifest all of my greatest desires. So this is something that I really want to be my motto for 2023. So I can't speak too much on this, but you see how it says top secret. I've been working on a secret project since the summer, and my goal is to finally launch it in 2023. So I'm very excited about it, and I think a lot of people will really like it, but I'm still working on it. It's still not done, but 2023 will be the year that I finally launch this secret project that I've been talking about for a couple of months now. And trust me, I'm ready for it to be over. But guys, it's been a project, and I am putting my heart and soul into it, so it's perfect. For this quote, it says 1111, which is an angel number, and it says, you are going to be living your dream soon, and it will seem so surreal how perfectly it all came together. I thought this quote was absolutely beautiful, and it just felt very reassuring knowing that I am going to manifest all of my wildest dreams, and that everything that I've really wanted for myself for a really long time is gonna happen. Plus, 1111 is also an angel number. And I feel like angel numbers have been kind of a hot topic to talk about this year, and I really want to learn more about them and find out which angel numbers are going to be important for me and what I need to know. So that is another thing that I want to focus on for this year, is learning more about angel numbers while still living up to this beautiful quote. This next quote is just another affirmation for me to say, watch me manifest everything I want. I always just want to remind myself that affirmations are really important, and when you keep repeating them and writing them down and training your mind to those affirmations do manifest into the universe. I will manifest everything that I want. It's going to happen. 2023, I am so fucking ready for you. This is another affirmation to remind myself that everything works in my favor. Very similar to what I just glued onto the board, but it's important to have affirmations in different kinds of phrases on vision boards instead of just pictures and quotes. Affirmations are just as important, and this is going to be one of my main affirmations for 2023. Everything will work in my favor. Next, it says, get shit done. This was not a good year for my productivity levels. I just felt like I was very lazy and I wasn't as motivated. So I want to get my motivation back so I can get the shit done, because without my discipline, the work that I put in, the motivation, all the things that I am trying to put on my vision board will not happen if I don't make shit happen. So I have to remind myself that this is the year that I will get that shit done. In 2023, we're gonna see a new era of me. I'm still trying to figure this out for myself, but I just know that I am gonna find different things to improve upon in my year, whether it's my style, my routine, my mannerisms, any habits, anything that just kind of makes me and embellish it even more. It's going to be a new era of me, and I'm excited to see what that era is going to be. But it's something that I really am manifesting for myself and I see happening. This is the last affirmation I'm putting on my board, but it says, I am creating the life of my dreams. As another affirmation to manifest that I'm about to make my dreams a reality, and I'm excited about that. So that is going on my board. This is another Photoshop job of my YouTube subscriber count, but I am going to try to aim for 3,000 subscribers again. I decided not to increase it because I struggled with the last 2 years in meeting those goals. So I am going to really strive for 3,000. I really do feel like it is achievable, so I definitely will have to play around with some new strategies in terms of like SEO and working around the algorithm so my videos do get pushed out and more people discover me. I also am still working with a YouTube coach, and she just released a new course that's only $40, so I think I'm gonna purchase it and see what updates and changes she's made and anything else that she wants to share that might be new information to help me get there. I do want to hit this goal, and I do think it is possible. I just really have to dive deep and really figure out what my problem areas are so I can see growth again this year. You'll see that I added a 2023 picture. I always put the year on my vision board, but this now says, holy shit, she did. Because after 2023 is over, I am going to be saying, holy shit, I did it. You guys will be saying, holy shit, she did it. That is going to be the reminder of what I'm going to tell myself when all of this is done and it's accomplished, and I'm going to feel very proud of myself. So you see a mic and a pop filter. This is to represent voice acting. Fun fact about me, voice acting is something that I've always wanted to go into. I am so thankful that a really good friend of mine is a voice actor, and I've recently just picked her brain on how to get started, things I need to know, and steps I have to take, and she was so helpful and she gave me a lot of great resources. This is something that I see myself working on, or at least learning more and getting into it probably earlier in 2023. This is obviously going to be a very slow and steady process. I don't expect myself to probably get any bookings this year. If I do, that's amazing, but I would love to try to at least audition for 1 to 2 things. So that is probably the realistic goal that I will set, but it's going to be a lot of work, and I'm going to have to get some new equipment. So I do want to invest in a new mic and a new headphone set, which will also be beneficial for my podcast. So that's another thing that I wanted to incorporate with this picture. Voice acting, especially for cartoon characters, is something that I've really wanted to do. I always loved watching cartoons when I was younger, and I thought it'd be so fun to voice a cartoon character. So that's kind of the niche that I really want to explore. So that is something that I want to really try to work on for 2023 and start getting into it, and again start landing some auditions and seeing what happens with it. I'm putting debt free on my board again, but for this specifically I want to focus on simply paying off my chin surgery. That I do think is going to be very doable. So that's kind of the debt that I really want to focus on. Yeah, pretty obvious there. So in this picture, you're gonna see a couple people collaborating and getting organized and working together. What I wanna do in 2023, and probably will have to work on this in the beginning of the year, is to hire a social media assistant for my podcast Instagram. While I was very thankful for my graphic designer who helped design all the beautiful graphics, I had a really hard time keeping up with my podcast Instagram from time to time, and it was getting really overwhelming to manage. Having someone who made the graphics and then I would have to just go back and edit them every month. That was easy, but still posting something like 5 times a week was hard, especially to keep on top of that with my podcast, my YouTube channel, my regular Instagram account, my TikTok. There's a lot going on there, and I just really need the help. So I'm going to start looking into folks who can provide these services, and if you do provide these services, hit me up and let's talk. So I feel like I already do this, but it's to spend time with people who are good for your mental health. I have established a really great friend group this year. I am excited to see if there'll be other new friends that I'll make in 2023. I've always had to remind myself that it's really important to continue to spend time with people who do not drain me, who don't put any negative energy out into the world, and are just overall enjoyable to be with and really benefit my mental health. So that is something that I'm going to continue to do this year, and to continue to be more social. So this is the second to last picture, but this is someone at a gym and you see a bunch of weights on the floor. So this is to represent me getting back into strength training. I won't do this until I take care of my health first, especially with my stomach problems, because apparently acid reflux can be triggered by strength training, which is really unfortunate. I don't want that to be a reason for me to not strength train. Like, that's so important to me. And I may consider going back and doing one last season of competing in 2024. But for now, I just want to focus on getting back into a healthy state of mind and being able to get back into the gym again. Just because it's been a while since I've been in the gym. I haven't done much exercise lately, and that's just been due to the constant nausea that's preventing me from doing that, and eating on a very small calorie-based diet because I'm barely hungry. So this is really important for me to do this year, so I'm gonna make sure that I have days back in the gym again. And for my final picture, you see someone holding a bunch of money in their hand. This is clearly to represent making more money in 2023. So I hope that a lot of my side hustles and other sources of income will bring in more income for me, and it will be the most money that I will have ever made in my entire life. I am definitely going to be getting to work in 2023, doing a lot of hustling than I ever did before, and really increasing my streams of revenue.
And here is my 2023 vision board. It is, oh my god, it is a lot bigger than what I've made in the past, but I think having a bigger and better vision board is going to be a lot better, and it's gonna really hold me accountable because I will be hanging it up over there on my wall, so I can always remind myself what I'm trying to manifest this year. And I think it looks really good. This is probably like my favorite vision board I've ever made, and I think that does have to do with the fact that it is bigger, but I think these are very attainable and realistic goals to set for myself and what I can manifest. So I'm really excited to see what will happen in 2023, and I can't wait to share with you at the end of 2023 so we can see what came true. Tell me, have you made a vision board yet? You know it's not too late to start now. I hope all of you have had a wonderful year and that you have a safe and happy, healthy new year as we ring in 2023. I won't be uploading a new video for next week because I definitely need a break after Vlognica and this video. So I will see you back during the second week of January. Bye!